Hey, it's subtraction, folks. Yeah. And I think it is the greatest falsehood on the planet. I think if there's one thing I want, I know I am preaching to the choir today, and I'm delighted to be able to do it, but I want to suggest to the choir, my brethren, that you go out and start spreading the counter meme and resisting the presumption that you can't be good without God, that because you've got religion, you're automatically morally superior to everybody else. I think... Thank you. Do not let that presumption pass unchallenged. I think we simply have to remind people that some of their best friends, some of the people they admire the most, some of the people that are most engaged in this world are atheists and agnostics. And the presumption that somehow believing in God makes you a morally better person is an idea that has no basis in fact whatever and should not be accepted without demurral. You don't have to insist that it's false. You just have to insist that nobody knows that. That is not an assumption that you are entitled to in any reasonable discussion. Now, finally, I just want to end with a few other points. Religions are powerful forces in people's lives, and as I said at the outset, they're brilliantly designed. When we understand their design, we can see better what we might do or should do to revise their design to improve them. And in the meantime, what should we do? Since I'm saying that we haven't done the science properly yet, we don't really know enough about it, I would be contradicting myself if I now listed a whole bunch of policy proposals and said this is what we have to do, because policy's got to depend on getting a better, clearer sense of what religions are. But there's one policy proposal that I do put forward in my book, and I'm deadly serious about it, and I want to spread it as widely as I can, and it's this. We should have more education on world religion in the schools. For all children, in public and private schools and in homeschooling, we should have a national curriculum on world religions. Now, history, creed, ritual, music, symbols, ethical commands, and prohibitions. All of it. And how are we going to produce this curriculum? In collaboration with representatives of the various religious groups, to be sure. They get to say what they want to be in the curriculum, but we get to look closely and make sure that it included is anything that is manifestly true, historical fact that they might wish weren't true or they might wish not to have known. But we're going to allow them to put whatever great things their religions have done, fine. They can't just do that. They've got to include the bad things too. This is going to be factual, not evaluative. It's not going to be proselytizing. It's going to be just facts. Now look, we already do this. We say, you've got to teach your kid reading, writing, arithmetic, American history. And I think we should also say, and you've got to teach them this curriculum in world religions. As long as you teach them that, you can teach them anything else you want. I'm going to be really libertarian about this. You can indoctrinate your children with any religious doctrines you want as long as you also give them this. Now, it's interesting that this proposal has been described by, in one review, San Diego Roman Catholic newspaper, as totalitarian. And in another review was described as hilarious. I submit it is such a clear, no-brainer extension of principles that we all claim to know and love. Informed consent. Democracy depends on informed consent. Misinformed consent or ignorant consent is not worth a coin flip. Now, parents are not owners of their children. They are stewards of their children. They have a responsibility to the rest of us. They can't keep their children in prison. They can't lock their children in dark rooms. That's child abuse. I submit that enforced ignorance of these straightforward facts, agreed to by everybody, That enforced ignorance is a form of child abuse. Thank you. Now, you know and I know that there are going to be a lot of people that just hate this idea. Just very patiently ask them to tell you why. What is wrong with this? What is wrong with this? I don't think they have a non-embarrassing answer to that question. I think the only answer they can give you is, we reserve the right to keep our children ignorant until we have so indoctrinated them that they will be unable to see these facts for what they are. If they have any other justification, I'd like to hear it. I'm quite prepared to listen, but I haven't heard anything good yet. Thank you very much for your attention.